K2 and shit. And so, I'm a big fan of horror. I'm a big fan of horror movies. I think that's already clear. I mean, I've already made a video ranking horror icons based on their homophobia. I love horror, right? I love movies, and horror is my favorite genre of movies. So it's kind of like my favorite thing ever, right? And I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, yeah, horror movies. We've been in such a golden state of horror. I feel like this decade there's been so much great one-off horror movies, but then they got my thinking, like, okay, what about all the franchises, right? The big franchises. I mean, horror used to be all about its franchises. And I just pulled up this list, most iconic horror villains, or I think this is just best horror villains. But you got, Jason Voorhees. You got where you at? Freddy Krueger. You got Ghostface. You got Michael Myers, right? So that's Nightmare, that's Friday, that's Halloween, and that's Scream. And you might notice something about all those franchises. They're all very iconic horror franchises with a bunch of entries. I mean, the one with the least amount of entries there is Scream, and Scream's at 7, right? You might also notice all those franchises are fucking dead. They're all fucking dead. They all died, right? So, starting with fucking Halloween, it was going crazy, and then the movies got fucking bad. They just turned fucking terrible. Halloween Ends is a bad movie, right? I don't think anyone will. Okay, there's people who like this movie. I don't think anyone from a well, only a 40 on Rotten Tomatoes. So I guess it's not that disliked. But geez, man, I don't think anyone wants this. Like this is not continuing. This timeline is fucking dead. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I think this movie actually did well at the box office, but I think critically it was so poorly received. Maybe it didn't do well because this is right after a post-COVID movie. But I don't know, man. It's just like I feel like there's no fucking hype for Halloween anymore. Because there was a whole show supposed to come out, right? And this is announced like 2 fucking years ago. There's been no fucking news about this show at all. So I genuinely have like no clue. Like, is the hype just fucking dead for Halloween? Does anyone fucking care? And it's just like, there's no news for this show. There's no hype for Halloween. It's basically like, it's a dead franchise. Like, the last movie was bad. There's no news for new movies. There's news for a show. Hasn't gotten talked about in a while. Like, I don't even fucking know. And then you have Friday the 13th. When was the last Friday the 13th movie? Like 2009, 09, 08? Like, it was the fucking remake, right? That shit was so long ago. Like, genuinely, like, people can grow up and get to fucking high school in that time since we've had a Friday the 13th movie. But this franchise isn't actually dead. There is a show that we know is coming out. Like, we know the show is done, right? And we know the casting and stuff. Unfortunately, this is not going to be like traditional Friday the 13th shit. It's going to be, well, maybe fortunately, because maybe this will actually be good. A lot of Friday the 13th shit is like actually quite bad. Even though I like it, it's mostly like not fucking good. But this has nothing to. So this uses a picture of fucking Jason. This has nothing to do with Jason. Well, he's in the show apparently. He is a character in the show. But it's all about Pamela fucking Voorhees, and it's all about paying homage to I think 70s horror and shit. And look, all respect, right? I hope this show is good. I hope this show does come out and works. Not all that. I don't know. Maybe there's less hype than I thought there'd be. Hopefully there is a lot of hype around this show. Hopefully people fucking watch this show, and we get like, I don't know, a new because everything's a trilogy now. So hopefully we get a new fucking trilogy for Friday the 13th. Just to give us something. Cause I'm gonna be so honest. I miss like shitty slasher franchises. Like Halloween and Friday were both not very good, consistently not good, and I just love those fucking franchises. Anyway, but I mean this is gonna be all about Pamela Voorhees. I'm pretty sure she's been casted and stuff. Yeah. So look, actually there is there's a lot of like 40K for a tweet just talking about like casting, not even like a trailer or anything. I think there's actually a good amount of hype. And she's a known actress, but she's not like a superstar actress, to be fair. Like, of course she was in the Scooby-Doo films, and she's in I know she's in TV. I only really know her from Freaks and Geeks. That's the only show I know her from. But like, dude, I don't know. So hopefully this show is good, but I like it won't. How do it won't scratch that itch for like a Friday fan, because obviously the first Friday is Pamela Voorhees. And obviously, what was it? Part 5 doesn't have Jason, so he's not in all the movies. But dude, as a fan, I want to see a fucking just a trad slasher in the fucking woods at a camp with Jason Voorhees just doing whatever shit, right? Getting crazy kills. Hopefully the show is good and it gives us hype. So this isn't okay. The franchise is still dead. The franchise is dead until we get a trailer, but it's being revived. It's being revived like Jason got struck by fucking lightning, right? You know, that's only two of the big three of the horror big franchises, right? The big slasher franchises. What the fuck is going on with Nightmare on Elm Street? This is actually like this is the most fucking dead of all of them. I don't think there's been any news for like a new entry, like not a new movie, not a new show, nothing since like 20 fucking 15, like 11 years ago. The only news we've gotten for this franchise at all is honestly the most depressing fucking news we can get, which is that Robert Englund cannot play him. Of course Robert Englund is old, so that makes sense. But dude, that's like really depressing. This is the only fucking news we've gotten for this franchise in years, right? He said only in an animated version, and I really don't ever see us getting an animated fucking show or movie for this. Maybe like he'll get some cameos being an animated Freddy Krueger, but dude, like of all the franchises, this one actually is fucking dead. Like this shit is gone, and I'm depressed because this is like low-key like top 5 horror franchises for me. Like there's some nightmare movies I absolutely fucking love. Like I love 3. I think the first one, I think Cravens are great, and I honestly like every nightmare movie, with the exception of probably, I mean 5, 6 and a remake are all bad, but I do find them entertaining. But that does make me more depressed that like the last thing people are gonna fucking know this franchise for is this remake, which it fucking sucks. It's fucking shit. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen in my fucking life, but dude, I don't know, man. It's just so fucking doomed. And I think about other iconic horror franchises, like I think The Conjuring's over. There's probably gonna still be more movies, but the main Conjuring shit is over. And like, what else is like a big horror franchise that's still going strong? Final Destination is back, and I think it's back strong. I think there is going to be a good amount of new Final Destination content, unless the next movie fucking bombs or is terrible. But the recent one was good, and it did very well financially, so it does mean more Final Destination. Oh yeah, of course, there's Scream, right? The iconic franchise Scream, coming in with a new entry this fucking month, and I don't care. I do not give a shit. Dude, I do not want to see Scream 7. One, the trailer is not fucking hype, alright? And that trailer did not really give me hype for this movie at all. I know some people are really excited, like, oh, it's back to... No, this is the most fucking generic thing. This is the most generic thing you could possibly do with a Scream, like, legacy sequel to me. The main character and her daughter versus a familiar foe. Right? And obviously it's gonna be a new Ghostface. I don't think Stu Macher is gonna be If he's alive, I'm actually gonna fucking like go insane. I don't know, but maybe I'll never find out because I don't even think I'm gonna go fucking watch this movie, because to me this whole movie is just fucking, it's ruined to me. I'll never be able to not think about the fact that Melissa Barrera got fired from this movie and that Jenna Ortega left this movie, and it just, the whole narrative of the sequel trilogy is just completely fucking changed. A shout out discussing film, like they're basically giving me my whole fucking video here. But dude, I can't watch Scream 7 and not think about how like she got fired for voicing her opinion on Palestine and everything going on in Gaza. I just think that's so fucking insane. I mean, obviously, look, with freedom of speech, that protects you from what the government, doesn't protect you from fucking corporations firing you for saying whatever, right? But I don't know, dude. It just puts a bad fucking taste in my mouth, and I just don't. It kind of made it hard for me to care about Scream 7, and I might still go see Scream 7, but I honestly don't fucking want to. I just don't care. I'm gonna be honest. Like, maybe, like, again, the trailer made me care less. I hate the whole, I know everyone has been hyped about it. This is like the Scream thing people have fucking wanted, and the whole like, oh, Stu is back and like he's the mastermind or whatever. And I think they're not doing that. I think they are doing the like voice replicator thing. I mean, fucking Dewey's back, or David Arquette's back, and I don't think he's gonna be actual fucking alive in the movie. I think it's gonna be like a flashback or like a dream sequence, or again, it's just a voice thing. But still, dude, I don't know. Like, I never cared for that idea. Like, it reminds me of the fucking cult of Ghostface thing they want to do for Scream, or allegedly want to do for Scream 3, where it was just gonna be two fucking kids who were like being led by Stu or whatever. I've heard about that, and I always thought that sounded fucking stupid. And I don't think Scream 3 is like a fucking masterpiece, but I actually do like Scream 3. And I think if that was a plot, I don't think I'd like the fucking movie. I don't know, to me that just sounds so fucking dumb. But whatever. So, I mean, I'm not excited for Scream 7. To me, Scream 7's basically dead. And after this movie, I mean, what's even next to the Scream franchise? It basically has to end. Like, there's no fucking way you're gonna do Scream 7, Scream 8, Scream 9. And it's a completely new trilogy with, Sydney, right? And her daughter. I feel like that would be fucking insane. Especially since, like, more than those other movies, those other franchises, Scream actually does have a continued story. Like, I know Nightmare has, the story with, Nancy, but like, dude, there's no fucking way you could extend Sydney's story this many fucking movies. So to me, Scream's dead. And I'm thinking about like, okay, you know, what other major horror franchises are there still like going on? I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre got picked up by A24. Let me look this up real quick. I'm pretty sure I'm right. And this Texas Chainsaw, I'm pretty sure this got picked up by A24 and it's getting a show. I don't understand why so many. Yeah, I don't understand why so many fucking horror movie franchises are getting fucking shows. This is so weird to me. I can't imagine. Can I be so honest? I've seen multiple slasher shows and I think they fucking suck. I always think they're not really well paced most of the time. I watched the Scream show, it wasn't good. I watched that one show, I think it's called Slasher or something. It wasn't very good. I just don't really get. Maybe there is really good slasher shows, but like, I can't imagine it. Like, how do you extend this as a whole show? Maybe you know what I would like? Maybe it's like 8 episodes and it's basically an anthology where every episode's just following a new like group of characters or type of characters, like surviving, I don't know, whoever the horror character is, right? Surviving, in this context, Leatherface. Maybe that would be cool. Like, I don't know. But I can't see like me wanting to watch an 8 episode or like however many episode show of one group of characters just going through a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, just very extended. Like, I can't imagine that being super entertaining. Like the original movie's like what, 100 minutes or something? Like, it's not a very long movie. And that is the peak of the franchise to me. That movie is amazing and it's very well paced. How the fuck do you turn that movie into like 8 episodes that are all like 45 minutes to an hour long? Like, are you fucking serious? I don't know. Like, and the slasher genre is a genre made to be not too long. Like, we're already having this issue of shit like Terrifier where their movies are getting too long for a slasher and it's making them. It kills the pacing in a lot of movies. It makes them. Slashers are. They don't have to be fun technically, but one of the biggest appeals is that they are just fun as shit to watch. Making them super long to me kind of like. It can take away from the fun element for a slasher, right? And then, you know, so that's Texas Chainsaw, that's Friday, that's Scream, that's Halloween, that's Nightmare. What's another iconic franchise, right? Evil fucking Dead. And thank God Evil Dead is on the fucking up. You have Evil Dead Burn coming out soon. And like, dude, I don't know anything about Evil Dead Burn, but dude, I'm fucking hyped. Cause I loved Evil Dead Rise. Like, I know some people hated it or whatever. I thought Evil Dead Rise was fucking awesome. Like, I liked it more than I liked the 2013. I thought Evil Dead Rise was the shit. I still think it's the shit. Every year, I just rewatch it because I just think it's fucking awesome. And thank God we have Evil Dead, proving that horror franchises can still, you know, those legacy horror franchises can still exist and still be fucking creative. Because without needing a fucking TV show for some reason. So, you know, again, thank God for Evil Dead. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Oh yeah, I guess I should explain the thumbnail if you don't know. Evil Dead cast. Yeah. So I feel like that pretty much goes to show why I put Alive but Gay over this one. And yeah.